inside and out, Cheryl Morley, and the phenomenal transformational king who absolutely helps us be the best version of ourselves, take us to highest heights, help us believe that more is possible, and manifest that. Paul Croto, take it away, guys.
Oh my gosh, Linda, thank you so much. And we are so excited to be with each and every one of you today. And I love how Andrea starts this whole call. I love it when she talks to each one of us, and I just love it. I'm a gangsta, and I am saying it right, Paul. And so I am really excited.
I got to work on that today.
That Andrea is calling me that today. I think that is hilarious. Okay, and we are excited to have a get together again at my house, and we would love for each and every one of you to come. It'll be a absolutely fantastic time. But today we want to talk to you about, and Linda just mentioned it, but it's what's stopping you from building your business. Is this not the question of a lifetime? Because, right? I mean, we talk to people all the time about it, and, you know, it's a question that I've had to ask myself years ago now, but a lot of times, and just kind of really get to the bottom of things. So we wanted to talk to you about that today. And, you know, we see people getting so excited, and they're like, you know what, I really want to start a business. I'm an entrepreneur. And they do get things started, right? I mean, they really, they get in there, they're excited, they're ready to go. But really what we see happening is that their businesses just don't really get off the ground, right? And we hear people say all the time, listen, I have tried everything and it just didn't work out. You know, I mean, I've done this and I've done that, and I've worked my fingers to the bone and it just didn't work out. Well, what happens, and, you know, come to find out is, you know, you've tried one or two things, and, you know, you've been working hard at it for 2 days, and then you just decide, that's not for me, and you quit, right? Or we see that people get a no or two, only 1 or 2 no's, right? And they quit. And they're like, that's it. Nobody likes me. Everyone's telling me no. Nobody's interested in anything I have. And I've literally talked to everybody, you know, and so it just, you know, so people just give up and they quit. And, you know, it's never, I went all out and it just didn't work. That's never the problem. So, Paul, what is really stopping us from building the business that we want and really being able to have that lifestyle and that life that we've always dreamed of ever since we were young? What's stopping us?
Yeah, well, first and foremost, people think, oh, it's strategy, but really what we've learned is it's 80% mindset. That is what is stopping most people. And of course, we're talking about strategy here today also, but it's this mindset. And let's get specific about this. It's this feeling of certainty that, you know, people go into this and they just feel like, I'm not sure I can do this. And what we're talking about is certainty in themselves. I really believe that people have certainty in the products and in you know, the message and all that. It's just themselves that they lose the certainty in. And there's nothing more important than having certainty in yourself. And it doesn't have to do with anything that you know or don't know. We're all learning here. No one knows everything, but it's an attitude is really what it is. It's an attitude going into it that I got this, I can do this. And when you have that attitude of certainty, and we call it a state or an emotional state, because really certainty is nothing more than an emotion. And when you fire and wire your brain, so I'm constantly, I got this, I can do this, you know, and when you rewire your brain to start buying into that, you walk into different situations with a different attitude, with a different feeling coming out of you. And it's the person that's most certain in any situation that wins. So if you're talking with another person, the other person's more certain than you that they don't need this, then they're going to win. But I'm always more certain than the other person. You have to have this. It's absolutely necessary. And that's why I've become so successful by this one thing. There's, you know, even when it comes to, let's say, 90 for life, people just don't hear me say that you have to have it. They literally can feel it. They feel it from me that I am 100% certain every man, woman, and child needs these 90 essential nutrients. It's not even an opinion I have. It is a fact. When you come across like that, you become absolutely unstoppable.
Yeah, I love that, Paul. And to me, like I always struggled with self-confidence. And so it's really just having that self-confidence and also, like you said, that certainty in yourself. And I know we talk, a lot about this, about how I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me. And so I always keep that in my mind throughout the day as I'm going along. And, it's, and I love that it's an emotional state, because that means we can make a choice to either have certainty or not, even though we might think that, well, I'm not certain because of this or this, but you can just make a choice. Hey, I'm certain. I'm absolutely positive, right?
Yeah.
That I can do this and that I can get out there. And I always do, like, I have little tips and tricks and stuff that I use, but I'm absolutely certain that I can help other people. That's the way I say it. That's how I like to say it. And it just reminds me that that's what I'm doing. I mean, I'm helping other people, which helps me be more certain of everything that I have going on. So I love that. So that's number one. Let's talk about number two, which is fear. Oh my God.
Did you just say the F word?
What?
Did you say the F word?
I know it is the F word.
I heard it with my own ears. I'm I'm
you did.
shocked, Cheryl. Do you know this is screaming to the world?
Exactly. So fear, and I mean, there's so many different things that we make up in our minds that we fear. And one of the biggest ones is we fear what other people think about us. Right? That's a huge fear for so many people. Like, oh, well, what's the neighbor going to say? Oh, well, what's the guy at work going to say? Oh, well, what's someone at tennis going to think if I'm out peddling my wares? Right? I mean, we think of all these crazy things. And so that's one thing. Another thing is, and what happens is, because of our need for love and connection, that we fear that others might not like us. Right? And so we want to be liked. I think every single one of us, we want to be liked. We want to fit in. We all have that need to fit in. So Paul, talk to us about fitting in. This is like my favorite thing.
Yeah, it's more, I think, a pattern. I wouldn't consider fitting in a need. I think you're right with the love and connection being a need. But I always had this, now I never really had an issue with fitting in, but I understand where people come from, where they want to be liked. So I've been following this guy on YouTube and reading his books. His name is David Goggins. And he does not care what other people think. I mean, he doesn't care. And just listening to him, being around him, he actually grew up like 5 miles from my house. So it's that attitude that, why do you care what other people think? And because he has that attitude, he's the most followed person in the world. It's just, he's doing his thing and everyone admires that so much. So we have this, it's so backwards in our mind. Like you said, what are the people at church going to think of me? What are the people at work going to think about me? All this. When you stop caring about that, people start respecting you on a whole new level.
Yeah.
And they'll follow you and love you because you're you and because you're doing your thing. And if they don't, and they're in some stupid clique, trust me, you do not want to be with those people. So I just love that not caring attitude that he has. And you don't want to be where I'm at, and he tells people that, and that makes people want to be where he's at more, so it's some kind of reverse psychology he's got going on there, but it's working phenomenal, not only for him, but for myself. And I can tell you my success has soared once I stopped caring what other people think.
Yeah, absolutely. I love that. And I think it's such a freeing feeling to not care what other people think and to be you. And I think you're absolutely right, Paul. The more you are yourself, the more you attract people to you. I completely agree with that. So
100%.
What about fear of the unknown? So all of us want to feel secure. We all want to feel like everything's going to be okay. Our mind wants to keep us safe. That's why our brain is here. Our mind is here to keep us safe. And so what happens is it keeps us in our comfort zone and does not allow us to really get out there and, I'm going to say it, soar. Okay. So that is super, super important. So what about the fear of failing once again? right? I think sometimes we get into this, and I think this is a pattern when you fail and you remember how devastating that was, right? And you're like, gosh, never want to do that again. The only way we can get better is to fail. So
Yeah.
I love, I forgot the name of the book, but I'm reading a book right now about, and it's all about sports because I love to read about different sports figures and stuff, but it's all about here, look, fail as much and as fast as you can, because it will just make you better and better and better. So I love that. So fear really is just false evidence appearing real. It really is. And I really do believe that it is all about faith versus fear. I have a shirt that says that. I absolutely love it. And the thing I like about it is fear cannot coexist at the same time in your body as faith. So as long as you have that faith and you feel that faith that you can do anything and be anyone that you want to be, then the fear just cannot happen inside of your mind. And the most interesting thing that I've just learned, I guess recently, or thought about and really taken it to heart, is that 95% of all bad things that we think will happen will literally never happen. So I love that, because it's just, you just have to realize and remember that it's just your mind trying to keep you safe.
Yeah. Yeah. So this whole false evidence appearing real is just your mind going forward and just saying, okay, if we go in this direction, what are all the bad things that could happen? Well, this could happen. This could happen. That could happen. That can happen. That can happen. That could happen. Or that can happen. And that can happen. So we're like, well, I don't want all those things to happen. So you do nothing.
Right.
All of that's false. There's no proof whatsoever. There's no evidence whatsoever that any of those things are going to happen.
Right.
But that's where our mind goes. It makes up stuff in the future that literally has like 99% chance of never happening.
Yeah.
But that's what stops us.
Yeah.
It really is the faith over fear. I love that. That's the way to get over that. Faith that it's going to be working. Next, number 3, story. So there's a story going on in all of our minds all the time. All of us have a story. So we can have a good story or a bad story. So a lot of people have that are not taking action, not working their business, is that they have some kind of thing like, I'm not good enough. I'm too old. I'm too young. And I got this super funny story. This guy's like, he went to this seminar and he's like, someone told him, listen, no one's ever going to listen to a 20-year-old, so you're just too young to do this business. And then when he got to 30, he went to this other seminar and they said, well, once you're into 30s, you missed your window of being, really successful online. So it's like in one day I went from being too young to being too old, and all that's made up. All of it's a story, or I don't have enough time. It's the most ridiculous statement in the history of statements. Everybody has 24 hours in a day. Everyone has 168 hours in a week. Everyone has the same amount of time. Well, Paul, no, you got more time than me. No, I don't. I don't have any more time than anybody else. I have the same amount of time. It's the only thing in the world that's actually even. But we come up with this BS story that I don't have enough time. And Jill can tell you this, because nothing burns me more than working with people saying, well, Paul, I had to do that. Let me just give out public awareness notice out there now. Don't ever come to me and say, I had to do that. You don't have to do anything, nothing. You choose to do that. Everything from from how long you sleep to what you do during your day, your entire life is up to you. There's no one holding a gun to your head saying you have to do this or have to do that. You may make up that story in your mind that you have to do this or that, but it's a story. So once you can start realizing that your entire life is a story, and whatever story you choose to focus on is the one that's going to happen. So what we do for the coaching group and people that go through our program is we have them write a perfect story or a potential story that could happen in their lives. Instead of focusing on the present story or the past story, we have this amazing story that they write, how they really want their life to be. And when you focus on that, amazing things happen. And all of a sudden, all those things in that story happen in your life. That becomes your life, because that's what you're focusing on, not this story of the past or that I failed 4 times before, so I'm probably going to fail again. Your past does not equal your future. It's the decisions you make right now that determine your destiny. So let's get the story right. And when you change your story, you change your life.
Yeah, I love that, Paul. I remember when I heard that for the very first time, you change your story, you change your life. I'm like, oh my gosh, I love that. Because it means you get to decide, right? And I love it when we each get to decide for ourselves.
But that's such a freeing moment, Cheryl, when people get that you can create the story. People are like, I'm just born this way. This is how it is. It's the deck of cards I was dealt. No, it's not. You can create the story yourself right now. You can write, the rest of your book is blank pages. You can write those pages yourself. It's not pre-written for you.
Yep. Love it. Okay, number 4, lack of strategy. That certainly could be true. You could have a lack of strategy. And we do know that with a lack of strategy, a confused mind will do nothing, right? So strategy is super important. And we do know that you don't rise to the level of your goals, but you fall to the level of your systems. I cannot stress enough the importance of having a system and following the system, because, you know, you could be a 1 in a million person who can go out there and not have a system and just make it work, right? You just grit and a long, long time and just continual work 24/7. You could do that and be successful. But the problem is, the minute you bring another person onto your team and they say, well, what do I do now? It can be the most horrifying and scary time in your entire life if you're not following a system, because you need to teach them the system to follow. They all need to be doing the same thing, right? Or it will not work. You will not be able to build a great team. So I love that, to have a system and a strategy.
Yeah, Cheryl no longer mocks me out for being a systems guy. Now she's embraced the fact that, hey, like, maybe winging it isn't the best idea. Maybe we should have a strategy going into this. So
this is pretty cool.
This is really cool, Cheryl. This is the transformation is outstanding.
Yeah.
Number 5 is lack of support. So this is huge. This is when you finally realize that you cannot do this on your own. You have an epiphany in life. Like Cheryl, when she was playing tennis, she was like, listen, I'm not going to get any better unless I have a coach that knows what they're doing. There's no way I could ever play golf the way I play golf now without my coach. I would have been shooting 200 still. You know, you have to have a coach in every area of your life. The best people in the world have like 10 coaches. I mean, you know, it's so critical, especially in today's age, to have those coaches. And, you know, Cheryl and I have embraced this so much that we coach coaches how to coach. I mean, this is how important this topic has become. So, you know, it's to come in, you know, we developed this Institute of Holistic Health so that people could come in and have a coach work with them. And you get Cheryl and I to be your coaches and coach you through building a business. But you also learn how to be a coach yourself. And I don't think there is a profession in the world more needed right now, or growing faster really, than coaching industry. You know, so being that health coach or life coach to people is just so important. And then they have the community, you know, the support of a community that everyone's heading in the same direction. We all get along. We're all supportive of each other. We all kind of lean on each other for help, is a beautiful thing. You know, so Cheryl and I really have spent a ton of time developing that. Having a battle buddy, we push a lot. Like if you don't have a battle buddy in life, like straight up, Cheryl and I are battle buddies. That's who we are to each other. And, you know, we're also business partners, but, you know, on days that, you know, Cheryl's like, I'm not at a peak state right now, Paul. I'm not sure I want to work out today. I'm not sure I want to do the cold plunge. I'm like, get your ass in the cold plunge, you know, or she'll tell me, Paul, get going, you know, so we push each other on that and, you know, make those calls, do this, you know, do that. And that back and forth propels us both upwards, elevates us both. And you need people there to celebrate your wins with you. I mean, you got all these victories and these great things that happen, but if I had these great things happening in my life, but no one to share them with, would they even really matter? No. So it's celebrating those wins with someone who really cares about you and who will celebrate because they recognize how hard that was. And then also, of course, people help you through the challenges. We're all going to have challenges every day. So, there has to be a support system, a coach, and a community in place to help you through those challenges so you can get to the other side and continue to be successful. Because if you don't have that support, you won't make it.
Yeah, absolutely. And I love all of those things. And I really do think it's super important to have a coach. But there's never been a day when Paul's had to tell me to go do something. No, I'm just kidding. That's like every day.
Well,
Okay.
let's just say Cheryl's rounding this whole class out today with something that she specializes in. So Cheryl, since you're the expert on the next one, let's have you talk about consistency and focus to all of us.
Yeah. Paul told me earlier, Cheryl, what does focus mean to you? And I'm like, I think it's where you don't multitask.
Yes.
Oh, exactly. Oh my goodness. Okay, so consistency and focus, they really are like the most important things. And consistency, and then Paul told me, Cheryl, consistency means every single day. And I'm like, what about my birthday? And he goes, every single
Every
day.
day.
What about Christmas?
Every day.
Every day. What
Every day.
about New Year's?
Every day.
So I spent a few minutes going over days that I didn't think that you should have to do some of these different things. But of course, my coach tells me, yes, you do. So it is really super important, the consistency and the focus, because it all adds up, and it doesn't add up like 1 + 1 = 2. No, it
Compounds.
No, thank you. It compounds as you go. So, and I love this whole idea of small daily wins, right? Getting into this, writing those down. I know, especially if you can write those down, it's so interesting. So I write them down after they happen that night, and Paul writes his 3 daily wins down the night before, and he already knows what his wins will be for the next day. So I'm like, okay, I'm getting to that point. But I'm like, no, I just want to think about the great things that happened today. And he's like, no, you're going to write down the great things that are going to happen tomorrow. So I love that idea. So, and develop a streak, right? Get on a streak to where you are really doing the same things every single day to be successful. And like, I do not like checklists. Like, I don't even understand them, but I do like a checklist to make sure that I get the things done today that will, and that I'm consistent with the things that I need to get done today, to make my life tomorrow better. You have to talk about deep work, because I don't even like the word.
Yeah, you can see Cheryl like break out a little bit when she mentions the word. But I just want to touch on the streak thing real fast, because this is something that people give a lot of credit to Jerry Seinfeld for this. But he made a commitment that said, I'm going to write 1 joke every single day. And he would literally put an X on the calendar. And what we've seen happen, not just with that, but in any area of life that you do this for, let's say exercise. I got this streak going of 284 days in a row. Like, let's just take Linda, 9-year streak.
Wow.
Daily dose, or nightly dose. Now, I'm just going to give a pop question here to everybody. Don't hold back on your answer, because it's really easy. What are the chances of Linda missing tonight? Yeah, go ahead and say 0. That much. 0 chance, because the streak is insane. I've never even heard of a streak that long. So when you get a streak going like that, you become absolutely unstoppable. And there was a moment, I'm sure in the beginning, Linda's like, man, I'm on day 18. I'm not, 19 is going to be tough. I'm not sure I'm going to make this. But as it went on, I don't know what number it was, but there came a number where it is actually harder to not do it than to do it.
It was about 6 months. The first
6 months. Okay.
Ruling, I was like, what did I
Wow.
do?
That's, so
now people are dependent on me. I was hating
Yeah.
it. It was about 6 months. And then I said, well, I'm only going to do it for a year. And then a year came, and I'm like, I think I'll do it for another year. And
Yeah.
now I don't know that.
Now there's no stopping it now. Yeah. It's interesting though. 6 months, so 180 days. When that day came, you're like, I got to keep going.
Yeah, I was loving it then. but being up at 11 o'clock at night, because there are people from all over the world that get on. So we tried to encompass all time zones. But yeah, it was about 6 months. And I mean, I was hating it. I wanted to be asleep. I'd be asleep by like about 9:30, 10 o'clock. So to readjust my time clock to now, I'm up till like 1 a.m. because after I'm done reading, we're reading Beach Money right now. So amazing. Jordan Adler actually came on the Daily Dose when he heard
that's freaking awesome.
Money. It was so dynamic. He was so awesome. And
that's a crazy good story.
Yeah, I know. I was like, whoa. He's like, hey, Linda, I hear you're reading. I'm like, what? Jordan Adler. Oh my God. It was crazy. So cool. Thanks to Tom Chenault, because when he heard it and heard me talking about him, he called him up and said, hey, get on. They're talking about Beach Money.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I was blown away.
Absolutely. So just rounding out here, we're going to talk about deep work, and that's just being focused. Like Cheryl said, it's meaning they're not multitasking. So we got to eliminate distractions. You got to tell your family that you're building business right now. I'm working from 11 to 1 or whatever the hours are, to let everyone know that I'm working now, and that you get into a private room, can't be in the living room or the kitchen doing this because there's a billion distractions there. Stay focused on your business. And I like setting a timer. So I actually have a timer that I'll set for whatever it is, 30 minutes, 60 minutes, 90 minutes, that I'm going to do this deep work and just focus on my business, nothing else. Like there's times we'll actually put my phone in another room, because this never happens to Cheryl, but sometimes your phone can become a distraction and take you away from what you're actually focusing on. So with that, Cheryl, I'll let you close out.
Oh my gosh. Thank you so much, Paul. This has been so much fun, and it's been such a pleasure spending this time with each and every one of you today. So stay committed and stay consistent. Remember that you have the power to elevate your life and the lives of those around you. Can't wait to see you again. Keep elevating.
And don't forget to vote. I love this. You all were talking about systems, and, I'm a day trader on the stock market, even though it moved from under the young umbrella of longevity, and everybody must follow the system in trading, the people that are on my team, and we're all getting the same results. I sent some results to Paul this morning, and it's not just me. We have this system. And so we have this new guy, signed him up. He's a CEO, because we do the health part. If you want to be connected to me in trading, you got to do the health part. So I signed up all these CEOs. And so I signed up this guy, and he just refuses to listen. So of course he goes and puts all of his money in the stock market and loses it. And I'm like, dude, I told you, just listen. There's a system. And not only that, I've lost enough money that you don't need to lose any money if you just listen. But he's like, because we make it so simple, everybody's like, oh, I could do this. Yeah, this is great. Let me put my mind. I'm like, no. You need to do a demo account. You need to practice, right? And so this guy, he just won't listen. But guess what? He learned the hard way. Let's just say that. He's a nice guy, but he's like, oh no, I got this. You made it so easy. I understand it. I said, no, you got to practice first. But he wouldn't listen. And so, well, okay. Now he's putting more money in. And I said, listen, he said, now tell me what I'm supposed to do again. But systems don't fail, people do. And so they're so necessary for our success. You all did an outstanding job. I always look forward to the last Thursday of the month. Thank you, Senator's wife, President's wife, Cheryl Morley. Thank you to the awesome Paul Croto. I'm going to unmute the Zoom. Please give it up for this extraordinary dynamic duo, and the best is yet to come. Have a great day, everyone. Thank you so much.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you, Paul and Cheryl. Y'all rocked it out.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you so much.
Cheryl and Paul.
Yes. You guys are amazing.
Thank you.
Thanks, everyone.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank you. Have a great day, everyone.
y'all.
You too.
Yes.
This
You guys
was
are the
so
best.
wonderful.
Yes,
All right.
You're so wonderful, Andrea.
Oh,
Yes.
thank you, LT. So are you, you shining star.
You're a
Love you,
shining
love you, love you.
star. Love y'all.
Love you
Thank you
too.
so
You're a
much.
shining
Thank you,
star.
Deb,
No
Demetria,
matter who you are.
Heather,
Love you.
Carmen. Oh,
And bright to see.
yes, sing, girl. Sing. Yes.
True to
Yes.
be.
Okay. Hey,
I'm trying to sing in the background.
Hey.
You don't know nothing about that. You was in diapers when that song came out. You don't know
Whatever.
nothing about that.
That I was in diapers. Stop it.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Sing
Oh
it.
my
All right, now
goodness.
don't y'all get me started. We have a concert up in here.
Come on, okay.
Get it going. Let's go
I ain't
with it.
got nowhere to go for the next hour. Let's do this.
Hey, only if you singing back up. Nah.
Oh, stop.
Whatever.
I'll be humming in the background.
Hey, that's a start. I'm down with that. I'm down with that.
Yes. I love
We'll
y'all.
put it together, y'all. We'll put it together. Thank y'all for joining us.
It's
Y'all
so fake.
absolutely
Don't
rock.
listen to her.
LT, we
You
love
need to come on here. You need to come in there and put those vocals on blast. Stop playing.
I hear you. I hear
As
you.
fabulous as you are, you need to stop it.
Whatever. Whatever.
Channel. I want to be
End
on
this call
YouTube
so I can
listening
call
to
and
you
harass
sing.
Linda.
I hear you, Andrea.
We're gonna end
Oh my
this call.
God.
Linda,
Hey,
you
Larry.
stand by. I'm getting you. I'm gonna
Beverly,
get you.
Deborah, Carmen, Kimberly, Irene, Bobby, Joanne, Dale. Good to see you, Dale. Oh my gosh, Queen Mary, Auntie Pat, Kimberly,
Mary.
Mary
Thank
Dawson,
you.
Bobby Loya, I love
Auntie
y'all.
Pat.
Thank
Guys
you,
in the back.
Andrea. Thank you,
Bye.
Tony.
Thank you,
Linda.
Auntie.
I
Thank
don't
you,
know
Miss.
why
Thank you, Queen Mary. Thank you, Miss Tony, for all
Love
you
you
do.
all.
LT, we
Good
love
morning,
you,
Queen
superstar.
Mary.
You
Yes.
absolutely rock.
Pray for me. Pray for me. My book has to be at the editor Saturday night. So pray for me that I get it
We're
all
definitely
done.
sending those prayers up. Sending
Get
them
it, get
up.
it done.
Sending
Get it
them out.
done.
I shall.
Mhm.
I shall. I'm telling you, I'm going deep undercover. Don't call me.
Yeah.
Not over the
I'm
weekend
calling
anyway,
you.
because
Oh, you
I
about,
am.
you about
I'm
to
making
get
this
a call,
happen.
ma'am. You about to get a call.
So I will get your call.
All right. Hey, we love you, champions. Guess what? We're going to meet y'all back here tomorrow. Same time, same station. Transport out.
1-star call and above.
Oh, 1-star
Woo!
call and above. Oh,
Thank you,
happening in
Auntie.
15
Love you
minutes.
all.
Thank you, Auntie Pat. Love
You're
y'all.
welcome.
Peace.
We love y'all.
Peace.